Women gonna always lie about their body count. So as a male, you just have to learn to accept that. But with that being said, you have to still be able to get an idea about what a woman's body count is and what her value is based off of that. Not because she's just a bad human because she be slept around, but because she can't bond to you no more. Which means that everything she'll be telling you will be a complete lie. Because they gonna lie to you, because they gonna lie to you about things, like their body count and shit like that, you have to learn certain things that they do, certain tendencies, certain little twitches. And I'll give you some examples on what you have to look for. You talking to a woman and she talks about her friend. Say she has a best friend and she telling you about all the horrid things that her best friend do and how she always trying to tell her best friend that she shouldn't move that way. But she's always the innocent one in every story. How she speaks to you. Because here's the thing. People may say, just certain people just talk a certain way. People just move a certain way. Now it's deeper than that. If a woman deals with you, and let's say maybe she starts off talking to you kind and things like that, but as y'all start talking, she becomes more disrespectful. It's not just only that she doesn't value you enough or respect you enough to talk to you with respect because she fears losing you. It's the fact that, yeah, true enough, she may be respect another man more than you, but it shows that she really just don't. It shows that she's a promiscuous woman because the way she would talk to a man, she doesn't have some type of sense of understanding of male nature and how you can't talk to a man because you're really truly in danger, whether you want to admit to it or not. She's perfectly okay with talking crazy with a man, which means she's combative, which means that she's a sexual, she likes to fuck. And I know that sounds weird, but it's truth in it. Another thing too, if you want to tell of a woman, and that right there alone will probably show that she definitely has around 13 bodies. If she's just real combative, like to argue, like to fight, she probably got around 13 bodies at the least. I'm just saying everything I'm saying is at the bare minimum, which is still high body counts. Or if she has tattoos, women with tattoos, that's a telltale sign that she's promiscuous. I don't care what you're trying to say. It's not that we live in a time where everybody has tattoos now. Yeah, every woman has tattoos now, but every woman is promiscuous now. That's a telltale sign. If a woman is gonna be promiscuous, a lot of times she's gonna have a lot of tattoos. She's impulsive, you know. And a plus to add on that is if she never had a tattoo of a man on her, that's just an add on. Like she definitely 25 bodies plus. But another telltale sign, which is normal, because once again, we live in a world where women are more promiscuous. Does she have a dad in her life? Does she have a strong male role model leader in her life? And does her parents, uh, does her mama respect her dad? And does she respect her dad? If she don't, she definitely has a high body count, you know, especially if there is not a mom, especially if the dad's not in the household. She can have a dad, but if her dad's not in the household, or if her dad is more so like her friend as opposed to her superior, then she definitely has a high body count because she don't know how to respect the man. She's never been shown how to respect the man. Or if a girl has a mom and a dad in her household, but her dad is more so on the feminine side. Her dad is more so um he don't wear the pants in the house. If the dad doesn't wear the pants in the house, the daughter is probably fucking, and the mom is definitely cheating on the dad with somebody, or she just don't have respect for this man. Um, but yeah, when you decide to just deal with a woman or whatever the case may be, women gonna lie. They gonna lie and tell you, "Oh, I only slept with a certain amount of people. I've only been in this amount of relationships my whole life." That's gonna be something you gonna always hear from women. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna go verbatim. I only been with 3 real relationships, and I only slept with 4 people. I only been in 2 real relationships, and I only slept with 6 people. If you want to know a woman's body count and get a hint, a kind of, ideal about what her body count is, if she tells you that she slept with 6 people, multiply that by 3, and then add 4 to it. So if she tells you she only slept with 6 people, 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So she at least has slept with 22 people, you know. And her, like I said, her personality gonna tell on it. She gonna tell on herself with her personality. If a woman can't get with one man and be bonded to him, like a genuine bond, she belongs to the streets. And unfortunately, all these signs that I done spoke about, you gonna see it everywhere. You gonna see a lot of women with tattoos everywhere. If a woman curses, if a girl curses like a sailor, she fucks. If a girl smokes, if a girl smokes weed, smokes cigarettes, she fucks. She has a high body count. You know, if a girl drinks alcohol, she definitely fucks. You have to look at the reason why dad is so important in a girl's life is because he stops her from doing these dumb decisions that women, make when they're by themselves. He instills values inside of her that makes her decide to be a better person. Without a dad or a mom and without a dad in her life and just her mom, she gonna make bad decisions, and she's just gonna try to lie about it and act like it never happened. Oh, I was just drunk at that party and those guys ran a train on me. You know, so that's why I say things like, does she drink? Is she a social drinker? Does she drink often? Does she like to get drunk? Does she have tattoos? Because a girl can have a dad in her life and still have tattoos on her body. If she has tattoos on her body, she's promiscuous. She has a high body count. Now, if this makes it into the algorithm, women gonna get on here and say that's not true. Men gonna get on here and say that's not true, because you gotta understand, if a man that invested into a woman, he wants this investment to be true. It's like me going to invest $10,000 into the stock market. I want to at least get a return on my investment, or I at least want to break even. So if a man deals with a woman and he taking her serious and she got tattoos, of course he's gonna say that's not always necessarily true. It's because he's trying to protect his own self, his own ego, and that's cool. And if a woman says that's not true, it's because she's once again lying. She's covering up something. The truth is just what it is. If a woman is a masculine force, but she's a female, she's probably fucking, and she probably has a high body count. Women love to talk shit about men because we prefer younger women. Like, oh, you're a predator, you're this and you're that. No, the truth of the matter is, the reason why men love to prefer a younger woman is because we can assure that she probably doesn't have that much of a high body count, that much of a high, like, she probably ain't fucked men who had an impression on her. You know, that's the reason why. The younger the girl is, the less a man that had this impression on her. You can actually get into her life and rear her to where y'all can bond together. A woman is a follower. She has to be led by some man. So if you're going to get with a woman and she didn't followed 4 niggas or 4 men who wasn't on shit, by the time she get with you, she got this man, and that man all inside of her mind, and they see men. So these are signs you want to look for if you're trying to see if a woman is, has a high body count or not. And it's just the God honest truth. Take it or leave it. A woman listens to um, Rod Wave, she probably has a high body count. If she listens to Young Boy, she definitely has a high body count. And it's not even I don't even have to mention it. To any type of female rappers, that's not even, I don't even have to mention it. She definitely has a high body count. Um, any type of music like Janae Aiko, music like that. SZA, she listens to SZA. The reason why these things are so important is because you have to realize music is all about emotions and vibes. And women who will go have a high body count, something probably bad happened in her life. She was hurt and she went out and had and slept around. These artists and things like that will be the ones that actually get her. So when she listens to these people, they're saying things that she can relate to. If it's something like a traumatic experience or super depressed emotional music, if she vibe with that shit, it's because she has a high body count. Somebody had an impression on this woman. I know the things that you will hear somebody like me say will sound so crazy. Like, you're basically thinking to yourself, damn, every bitch has a high body count then, right? Yes, they do. Because what you have to realize is, just in all honesty, majority of the women in this world aren't worth anything. Most of them are worthless. You know, they all are used. They all have been, you know, fucked on and thrown around. That's just the truth. So with that being said, majority of women ain't shit. Majority of women have a high body count. Majority of women are going to lie. Majority of women are mass manipulators. That's why if you are able to find that 1%, you hold on to it because you're not going to find it. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. That's just the God honest truth. So as a man, women going to try to bash you and make you feel bad because you don't want to take on them and their bad behaviors and their high body counts and the fact that they can't really connect with a man no more because they're not able to attach to anybody anymore. Yes, they're gonna make you feel that way, and that's the norm. So as a man, you have a choice to make. Are you gonna deal with these women, accept their lies, live in this fairy tale, or are you gonna say, I gotta find better? That's why things like going to other countries are so important. You go to other countries and there are women who are literally actually virgins who haven't been touched, and it's their culture. Like so much so to where it's like those women can't even drive. They don't even let women drive. So that's just the truth. That's just the God honest truth. Know what you want, know what you're getting yourself into, so when it happens to you, you're not blindsided. Because one thing about women with high body counts and who are masculine, they love to blindside your ass. They'll have you thinking that they're special. And the second that you trust them and they show their true colors, it's like your whole world get turned upside down. So it's cool to look at a man and say, "Oh, he's just hating, and he's just jealous, and he's just all this shit like that." Cool. Don't if you don't believe it applies, let it fly. But if you want to know the truth off somebody who not just saying, who just not talking out his ass, I ain't talking out my ass. You better take some advice.